Thank you for joining us tonight at the dinner celebrating the successes of MEOR on college campuses from coast to coast. More importantly, thank you for creating these successes on 21 campuses throughout the United States. MEOR's mission is to inspire, educate, and empower college students to lead more meaningful, full, and Jewish lives. The way we do that, our mission statement, is by exploring Torah and Jewish ideas with them in ways that deepen and empower their lives. Usually taking a small idea and showing them the Jewishness and Jewish rituals had much more meaning they learned about in Hebrew school whets their appetite for a desire to explore their Jewish heritage and their Jewish history in much greater depth. Maybe tonight we should do that together also. Let's try and explore a little bit the idea of Jewish dinners. How can we celebrate this dinner? How can we prepare for Shavuos, which is coming in 2 days, a Shavuos dinner? How can we celebrate every Shabbos meal together? What's the Jewish idea? What's the Jewish relevance? What's the meaning behind that? In 2 days, we're going to have Shavuos. Shavuos, the most powerful day in world history. Mystery and meaning was given over to the Jewish people. Those ideas are very powerful, but they're also very ethereal. We need a symbol. Judaism needs an anchor to make that practical and concrete. What symbol would we use to express powerfully the ideas of Torah and Jewish heritage to ourselves and our children on Shavuos? The Torah says the perfect way to draw close to God on Shavuos is by offering up 2 showbreads, offering up 2 chalot. That seems very difficult to understand. Challahs, physical, prosaic. Why does that express what Torah is? Why does that inspire us how to live a life of Torah and inspiration? The Zohar on the spot asks the question, and Reb Moshe Cordovero explains very beautifully, that because Torah is so ethereal, and because Torah is so abstract, we need a strong metaphor of what Torah does for us. Bread is the staff of life. Bread gives us energy. Bread gives us the ability to be creative and to bring ourselves out to the world. Therefore, just like Torah gives us energy and meaning on the spiritual level, bread, the staff of life, gives us energy to express ourselves and create special lives. Therefore, it's a perfect metaphor for giving over Torah. However, the Zohar continues and says, but why 2? Make 1 large loaf. 1 should be enough. Why do we need 2 loaves of bread? More than that, the Zohar continues, it's not just by Shavuos that we need 2 loaves of bread. It's every Shabbos we need 2 loaves of bread. Why do we have 2 chalot? There's nothing more traditional to a Jewish table than 2 chalot. The Zohar explains that to express Torah properly, to live Torah properly, we need to have 2 perspectives. One perspective is an upward and an inward perspective. It means connecting to our internal sense of right and wrong, our conscious. It means connecting to God. It means connecting to meaning. That's the traditional connection to Torah that we talk about and see in the Beis Medrash, when we learn texts in a normal form and a normal style. But that's not complete. That's not enough to lead a full Torah life. There's a second loaf that's needed, which is an idea of looking outwards, not inwards, but outwards. How can my Torah insights make a better world? How can my Torah be a light unto Jews? How can my Torah be a light unto nations? We need a second activist perspective to recognize that the job, the mission, the enjoyment of leading a Jewish life is making a better world and expressing that out to everybody from coast to coast, from person to person. That's the MEOR mission, that second loaf of bread, sharing Torah, sharing meaning, sharing energy of inspiration with people through Torah, through understanding. My suggestion, my hope, my desire is that this meal tonight and your meal on Shavuos, and all of your Shabbos meals, you'll think of these 2 loaves of bread and draw closer to meaning and draw closer to inspiration and grow closer to Torah. Thank you very much for creating the possibility for MEOR to succeed. Please, whenever you have a Jewish meal, think about the 2 challahs and recognize one is for Torah learning and one is for MEOR. That's our mission. We're partners in together. When we think about that, we'll have the joy of Jewish eating and the joy of Jewish living. Thank you.